talk about the Dancing with the Devil documentary on Netflix. I mean, it's a cult. I don't really know what else to say.
That's the tweet.
It's a cult.
It is what it is. It is what it is. If you can't talk to your family about this religion or this
Right.
community that you're in, it's
Yeah.
giving cold.
It's giving cult. Big time. Big culty
Because they want
vibes.
to separate you from your family. So you can't have, going back to Nikki, those outside sources to be like, this may not be the right move for you.
Yeah, yeah. And if you guys watch it, like the gist of it is this religious community slash artist management company, which is already a
Yeah, how is that a
weird.
mix?
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's so weird, and its involvement with a lot of very prominent like TikTok dancers and them being involved in this and their families, speaking out, trying to get them to separate themselves from the community because the I guess pastor, leader, whatever you want to call him, of the community is a very very questionable person who has done some really questionable stuff. I mean, they had people who have been in this community in the past talking about different type of sexual allegations and control allegations, money allegations, all that type of stuff. Basically, at some point, people are paying 70% of their income to this church slash management company. It's just very, very sketchy behavior. And like I said, to know that like some prominent TikTokers are like to this day still involved in this, so weird.
It's
So
weird.
weird.
It's weird. Yeah, it just sucks. I hate that a lot of these like cult or a lot of these cults like pull in religion
Mm-hmm.
to like trap these people into it and have them
Mm-hmm.
thinking that is something positive. I mean, because it's, you know, Christianity is God or whatever, and like really
Mm-hmm.
use that to manipulate people.
I know.
It sucks
It really
because not all
does.
religion is like that.
I know, but it's just like when you have stuff like this happening, like it just makes it seem like that. But there's just no doubt in my mind that this is absolutely a cult. And like you
Mm-hmm.
said, like the fact that like the families have gotten to the point with the people who are still involved that like they will talk to them, but only if they don't discuss the church management company, whatever. They cannot discuss it. And the only reason that really came about is because at first they weren't talking to their families at all,
Yeah.
but the families were making such a fuss about their involvement in public on social media, so they lost brand deals and all these type of things. So I think the leader was like, talk to them to keep them chill, to stop them from
Basically,
doing all
yeah,
this, which is
because they
where
messing with
that
the
came
money
from.
now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. And they were like, I think he recognized that like the family's biggest issues is literally not being able to talk to their child, their sister, their brother anymore. Like that was crazy and had them super concerned for like their health. I mean, the family was like showing up at the house and trying to follow them, tracking them down and all this type of stuff. So they literally just did that to chill them out. Clearly it didn't work because the family is very prominent in this documentary. Um,
Yeah, it's
it's wild.
sad.
Mm-hmm.
I feel for all parties involved, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
because I think for somebody, because it could really be anybody. Like
Yeah.
anybody can fall into this, and the more and
Mm-hmm.
more you say, like, "Hey, you're in a cult," they said it's more likely for them to keep pulling away and keep being in that cult. So it's like you
Yeah.
would think that you would raise your kids to be headstrong and think for themselves, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they just get caught up in the wrong thing. So it's a very very scary thing.
That's very true. That's very true. Because I feel like based on things that we have just like heard about cults and stuff like that in the past, like you think that it has to happen, it can only happen to like a certain type of person or
Yeah, somebody with
people.
no community around them. Yeah.
Yeah. And this made it very, very clear that like not everybody is born into a cult. Like sometimes
Right.
people are literally recruited, which
Hmm.
is basically what has happened in this situation. And I wanted to bring up this comment that we got in our Facebook group from our patron Mackenzie because we were talking about it in the group, and she said that she was discussing with some friends that this documentary was good because while it did have a religious element, it illustrated how cults can be based in someone's passion and can manipulate people in ways that aren't strictly a religious ideology. Girl, I was like,
That's
oh, that's a whole word. That is a whole word.
Mackenzie, you ate with that one.
No, for real.
Because
Left
I
no
mean, that's a
crumbs.
good point because usually it
Mm-hmm.
is about religion.
Yep.
And people think, that's the thing that,
Mm-hmm.
sweeps people in. But with this young lady, she just wanted to be a dancer,
Yeah.
and it kind
Mm-hmm.
of like, I think in her case specifically, like religion was a byproduct of that.
Byproduct.
But
Yep. Yep.
people get caught up of like, I want, and I mean, even with, I hate to bring up like the whole Diddy situation,
Mm-hmm.
but people of power like try to use like, oh, you want to become a singer, you want to become a dancer,
Mm,
you have to do X, Y, and Z,
very
like, and
true.
trap people into this
Yep.
cult like behavior, or in this case, a cult.
Yeah, exactly. And in this situation, like these people were, most of these people aren't born and raised in LA. So they
Mm-hmm.
moved to LA to pursue their dreams and stuff. They're, hundreds of miles away from most of their family, most of their friends. And,
And
probably a lot of
young.
them very young were just looking to feel like a social need of being
Right.
around people, seeing people who are just like minded as them. And, being like, okay, well, this isn't bad. Like I could just, and especially with the one young lady who's very prominent in it because of her family,
Mm-hmm.
she met her husband through this. So if she
Right.
were to leave, she wouldn't she has to get her husband to leave with her, or she has to leave him as well.
Exactly. Which is
And that
hard
is
in any
tough.
situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard.
Very
Yeah.
hard. Yep. Yeah, but really, really good documentary. Definitely check it out if you get a chance to, y'all. Myra said it definitely could have been one episode. I totally
Yeah,
agree.
they stretched the fuck out of this, but
They
yeah, it's
did.
still good. It's
It's
still
still
good.
good.
It is on Netflix, so
Mm-hmm.
if you want to check it out, um, it, it's just sad.
It's sad.
It's sad overall because I know, like, even having a community of people who create content has been
Mm-hmm.
so life changing and so
Mm-hmm.
needed for me as somebody trying to build up with content creation.
Yes.
I could not imagine like feeling like, man, I got people who get it, like who
I
loves
know.
dance and want to like
Mm-hmm.
build something off of it, and it becomes,
It's
you're giving
very
70% of your income away.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Exactly. Hmm.